Hello everyone. We can keep this video lesson short once again because the market is just drifting higher. And until there's any kind of abnormal price action or any kind of character change price action, there's just nothing to really talk about. Everything's good. I actually love the pullback that I'm seeing in the IWM, the RSP, and the DIA. Everything's excellent. I have no complaints whatsoever. FFTY looks good. ARC looks good. Once again, look at that relative strength line. Once again, zero complaints whatsoever. The only complaint I have right now is that I am managing a lot of positions because I am fully invested, fully locked out on margin. All I can do is trim and trail, take profits on the stocks that move higher, like APP. You can see where we entered via the white triangle, like PLTR. You can see where we entered via the white triangle. Take some of those gains, lock those in, trail those stops higher, and then move it into new positions. Now, what's funny is that RBRK, I love this stock. You can see how tight I am. I went long here. I should be up 100% in this position. It's good to see members still long, but my types get so tight that right here, 30.35 low, 30.36 low, should still be in it, right? I'm not. I'm completely out of it. I just keep two tight stops because there's just too many stocks moving like this. So that's my cross to bear, if you will. But overall, I don't know how to find anything at fault with this market. I had a lot of 50% sell signals. We can roll through those. GIL, that's a 50% end of day sell signal, would be 100, but the below average volume will keep me in it. Rounding up, that's a 2% loss. So that one's a fail. TW, my final stop goes below today's low a day, but technically the final stop is still on the end here. This is a negative 3% rounding up. And then you can see we're taking profits in other ones like AMSC. That's 18% gain. GWRE would be a 100% sell signal. And it is technically, to me, I'm moving my final stop below this low day, but technically on an end of day basis, since we still have gains and there was a prior higher highs and higher lows leading into this reversal day, I'm leaving with a 5% gain and it's still good to go, but I'm moving my final stop to below here. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of stocks now. And STEP, unfortunately, I've been completely shaken out of this one. Too tight of stops, but on an end of day basis, it's still good. And if you're still long, that's a 39% gain. So you can see the gains compared to the losses. The winners take care of the losers, rinse and repeat. So this evening, I actually have a lot of long signals, but I can't tell which one I like better than the others because none of them have a 95 or higher composite rating. And that's what I demand to increase size unless I just love the idea. So SG, this is an add signal today, pocket pivot point signal. Volume is below average, and there isn't a huge surge in BOP. And if I look at the sales growth and the composite rating, there's just nothing there that I love. But definitely want to give it a shot. Add to the position above the high of the day, calculating my size and risking to this low. So SG is an idea for everyone on Monday. Hey, if you love it, all in. Now remember, I use buy stops. So if this stock opens at 42 and just crashes, I'll lose nothing on it because I'm not getting long until it trades over 42.16. Triggers me in at 42.17, and then of course I always have a 1% limit offset. So if it gaps and goes, so be it. That's happened a lot. ALAB had a good ad signal on this one, gap and went without me. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Own 100 stocks and manage 100 winners? No, I can't do that. So if I want to take size on anything, I got to really like it. Got to have a good signal, and then of course can't be shaken out of it. But SG, good signal, just nothing that I love, but this might be the best overall setup. Then there's VSEC, heavier above average volume, pocket pivot point signal. It is extended from the 50, but it's right at the 21 EMA, so it's not that extended in this tape. Want to get long above 118.98. I'll be calculating my size and risking to this low. Now I'm fully invested. So even if I want to risk just 1R, I can't even get 1R at risk in any of these trade ideas. Do I love VSEC? I sure do not. I like it. Do I love SG? I sure do not. I like it. And then one more idea, pocket pivot point signal from a flat base, TRN. Once again, not extended from the 21 EMA, so it's right there. And you will see SG, TRN, and VSEC, they all have similar setups. Flag patterns above the 50, right on top of the 21. TRN would like to trigger and get long above 38.10 at 38.11. I'll be calculating my size and risking to this low. And remember, if they all open lower and none of them trigger up and through and they all just fail through the 50 SMA, how much money am I going to lose? It's rhetorical. It's $0 unless it triggers up and through 38.11, triggering me in. If it gaps lower and just fails, kind of like it did here, let's say my stop limit was above here. Well, that never would have triggered me in, and it failed. No losses instead of taking a full loss using limit orders. This is why I use stops with limits attached. Now, if all three trigger and all three fail, hey, what am I going to do? I'm willing to take that risk because the odds of that happening in my entire career is less than 1% of the time does that happen in an intraday session. So every order that I get long, I attach a stop to it. It's rare to almost never that they trigger, fill, reverse, and fail, leaving me with a full loss. It can happen if it gaps up, fills me, and then it has weak price action all day. But as long as you're watching it at the open and you're not buying the gap up and you're letting it go red to green, it's almost impossible using this methodology. And because I'm so selective with what I decide to buy, to have things just fail immediately. It just doesn't happen. So maybe you take one of the three, TRN, VSCC, or SG. Maybe SG is your favorite. Well, let's say that SG is my favorite and I only take SG this week. And let's see, SG happens to trigger, fill, and fail. But TRN doesn't. It triggers, fills, and runs. VSEC doesn't. It triggers and fills and runs. But I put all of my eggs in this one basket. Now that's fine. You can do that, and I do recommend that. Because there will be a new signal on Tuesday. We'll have more signals on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Until this market pulls, we're going to keep getting signals. And even if the market pulls, I assume we're still going to get signals because we're in that kind of market. So it's pick your poison. Me, I have so little cash on hand, I'm going to sprinkle the exact same dollar risk amount each one. Let's say that the total of cash on hand, let's say, is $3,000. Well, that means that I can risk $1,000 on each of these trades. And if any trigger, fill, and fail, I'm only going to lose that 1,000 instead of the full 3,000. So I'm going to split it up between all three, VSEC, SG, and TRN. Now, once again, do any of these have over 95 composite ratings? No. Do I love any of these setups? No. But I do like that TRN doesn't have any red bop in its chart. SG has some red bop in it. And VSEC has some red bop in it. That's this indicator down here. It's a tertiary indicator, quadrary indicator. It really doesn't come into play. But I do like the chart patterns that are clean. No red on the bottom. No big, tall red volume bars in the middle with some pocket pivot point signals. Those are always my favorite. Now, SG, we got that one down day here. But look, it's a positive overall intraday session, so it doesn't really bother me. TRN, clean. VSEC, I don't see any tall red volume bars. So like I said, this is secondary volume. This, hey, it's just an added bonus. So if I had to pick the one that looks the best, it's TRN. Does it mean it will work? Absolutely not. That's why I'm going to spread it out among all three of these signals. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see members back in the chat room on Monday.